Hi everybody, Dan Illman and Mike Beer, the DRF race of the day for Sunday, December the 15th, race number 12 at Remington Park. Let's take a look at the field for the $400,000 Remington Springboard Mile for 2-year-olds. Maybe we'll get a couple of these 2-year-olds on the Oaklawn Road to the Kentucky Derby over the winter and into the spring. You can download free Formulator past performances for this race on the Race of the Day event page at DRF.com. Access them, handicap along with us. A lot of stretch-out sprinters in this race, Mike. Timeform US believes that this pace will be fast, and I tend to agree that it will at least be fair to fast.
I can't argue with it. You're right. A bunch of horses stretching out. There should be plenty going on early.
10 Maximiliano is the horse expected to make the lead, has shown sprint speed in 2 starts for Wesley Ward and breaking for post 10 on DeMartine Garcia. I think he's probably the one to try to get the front.
Yeah, he's got a lot of speed. He showed a lot of speed last time, but there are horses down inside who I'm sure want to try to secure position. So, we'll see how it all plays out.
Especially the number 1 Piece of Work, who went gate to wire last time out, going 6 furlongs at Remington. We're going to watch that race right now. There was not a lot of pace on tap in this race, and this horse was just ready to go for his first start. I like the way he finished it off, but he's now going to have to stretch out a 1/4 of a mile with other speeds.
I mean, it may not be an easy trip for him. This horse ran really well first time out, though. This was an impressive debut win. He won it as he pleased through the stretch. And I think it's just worth, pointing out that his trainer, who does a really good job, that win right there made him 4 for his last 100 with first-time starters. It's not like he has his horses all cranked up to go. This horse could really take a step forward in here.
And this Arkansas bred is a little bit of pedigree as well on the bottom, a half to a stakes place turf runner. The number 2 is Alternate Time, and this horse has some pedigree as well. The Dam was a stakes place sprinter. Alternate Time is a half to a stakes place sprinter. And we'll see if this Brett Calhoun trainee can successfully stretch out following 2 sprint wins, both over wet tracks. Let's watch start number 2 on November the 29th. First start against Winners. He is right up and on the pace on the outside. Again, the pace wasn't very fast, but I like the way he dug in to beat these horses in his second start.
Yeah, he's done this twice now. Both of his wins, he just kept forging on at the end and was very game to prevail. And listen, I'm not going to knock an undefeated horse. I haven't been blown away by his 2 wins, Dan. He looks like a horse who's going to have to really improve stretching out.
The 3 Rowdy Yates is one of the most accomplished horses in this race for trainer Steve Asmussen. He's won 3 stakes races already, graded stakes placed at Churchill Downs early in his 2-year-old campaign. He reminds me a little bit of Bankit, who Asmussen shipped over here last year. A horse that had big speed in sprints, but in route races is able to relax from off the pace. And last time out, we're going to take a look at the local prep at Remington, the McNeil. And Richard Aramia got this horse into a little bit of trouble on the turn, and let me tell you, at 1-5, if he got this horse beat, he would not have gone back to visit Mr. Asmussen in the unsaddling area. But he did get Rowdy Yates out in the stretch and plenty of time to dominate this overmatched field.
Yeah, he did. You're right about all that stuff. It worked to his advantage that he just had that field over a barrel. Listen, he looks like the horse to beat in a lot of ways, Dan. His last 2 wins are both, pretty good. He was 1-5 both times. I got to believe it's going to be harder for him to win this race.
A lot of folks are going to be looking at the number 4, Answer In, for trainer Brad Cox. Ran very well in his career debut, and last time out, he ran in the faster division of maiden special weights, going 7 at Churchill Downs on October the 27th. That race was over 2 seconds faster than the other division. He's dialed in out of a multiple stakes winning sprint runner. Now, he didn't break well in that race at Churchill Downs. He ended up 4 wide. He made a nice bid under a confident ride. I thought he looked good in the stretch, and he got a fig.
Yeah, I guess the real problem with him is he's been slow from the gate both times, and that could be a real problem for him if he breaks slowly in here, but he's also run really well in both of his starts. I didn't love the way that he went to his wrong lead while he was well clear last time, but, I'm not going to knock him right now. His 2 races so far have both been very good.
Calumet Farm homebred number 5, Jungle Runner, might offer some value here at 15-1 on the morning line. This horse is 2 for 2 in his career, 2 for 2 at Remington Park, pardon me. And I like the way he won at 7 furlongs last time out. There wasn't a ton of pace. He's already taken over from mid-pack, and he goes on with it. And this horse is bred to appreciate the mile. He won his maiden at a mile going away. And while his figs are light, he just looks like a horse that has a lot of upside.
Yeah, I look at him that way too. I think he's got a lot of improvement still in him. When you watch him run, especially, he still looks like he's a little green out there, but he's got some talent. I liked that win right there that we just watched, and I liked his win too back when they stretched him out for the first time around 2 turns in behind horses for a long way in there, came through on the inside in the stretch and was going away. This horse has a lot of upside, I think.
Another stretch-out sprinter is the 6, Shipman's Song, who beat fellow Oklahoma breds last time out in pace-pressing fashion. We'll watch that race. This was probably not the strongest field in the world. This horse was dismissed at 7-1 after failing in 3 prior occasions against Oklahoma breds. I guess he just found the right field, or maybe he's finding himself, but the waters get a lot deeper on Sunday.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. The figure for this race makes you think that he took a big step forward in here. I'm not so sure. I kind of want to see it again, Dan, and see if he can validate it. The horses that were second and third in there were both first-time starters. Who knows how good they are? And it just felt like nobody ran behind this horse.
The 7 Southgate Stakes winner in his second lifetime start at Prairie Meadows in the Iowa Stallion Futurity. This horse has chased Rowdy Yates in vain in his last 2 races. I kind of think maybe this is the kind of long shot that just needs a pace meltdown in order to pick up some pieces.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I didn't see any excuses for him, and he was no match for Rowdy Yates either time in his last 2, so we'll see if he can improve.
Intriguing entrant in here is the 8 Embolden for trainer Michael Stidham. This horse is a stakes winner on turf, graded placed on turf behind 4-wheel drive. He has taken on good company, and in his one and only start on dirt, he ran into a very good 2-year-old in Meru. That was the career debut at Monmouth. Meru came back to win the Smoke Glacken with a 95 buyer, then ran second in the Grade 3 Nashua with an 82. So the jury's still out as to whether Embolden wants dirt. I'm a little bit more concerned about the distance. This dam was a multiple stakes winner that won 14 of 15 wins sprinting.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, he's actually pretty good on the turf, but I don't know if that excludes him from being good on the dirt too, Dan. You know, the distance I would worry about more than anything else, certainly more than the surface, which he's got some talent, that's for sure.
Class relief should work for the 9 Shoplifted. Very impressive debut winner at Saratoga, going 5.5, far from embarrassed when second behind his uncoupled stablemate Bazin in the Grade 1 Hopeful. In his last 2 races, the American Pharaoh, the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, it just didn't work out. Now listen, the Breeders' Cup Juvenile this year was dominated by long shots, but I think that Anno Deor is okay. He came back to run second in the Low South Futurity with a 91. Shoplifted has to prove he can go 2 turns, but he's going to appreciate dropping in class.
Yeah, the class really figures to really benefit him. I guess we'll find out a lot more about him in this race. I liked his debut a lot. I've liked his subsequent races less and less as I've watched them. I mean, he did no running last time, not that he was going to win the Breeders' Cup. I don't know. I didn't think his American Pharaoh was terrible, but I also don't know if it makes me want to bet him in this race.
The 10 Maximiliano is bet down to 7-2 for his career debut at Saratoga. He caught a very good horse in Governor Morris, who came back to run second in the Breeders' Futurity, a Grade 1 race at Keeneland. Maximiliano then came back to win at Keeneland himself, a maiden special. He was up and on the pace. He's being confronted here on the outside. And I think we give this horse some extra points for battling back and winning this race. Solid figure of 79, but another horse whose dam was a stakes place sprinter, and he's got to stretch out in distance with other speeds.
Yeah, and he's got an outside post too, so they're probably just going to have to send him from the gate. We'll see if he can get the right trip, Dan. He was game in this race, and he earned a solid figure for it, but I'm kind of against him in this spot.
Hercules, no surprise here from a pedigree standpoint that this horse has improved slightly, stretching out around 2 turns. He's by flat out. The dam was a stakes winner. 6 of the 7 wins from the dam came in route races. An okay second behind Rowdy Yates, but just is going to have to do a lot more.
Yeah, he hasn't shown a race yet that makes him a real contender in here, and neither has the horse drawn right to his outside, the 12. I mean, these are 2 horses who are going to be huge prices in here, and they're probably going to need this race to fall apart.
Absolutely. The 12 Slutang Clan has some pedigree by promising first crop sire Honor Code. He's a half to Conquest Eclipse, multiple Grade 1 placed as a 2-year-old, but tough outside post and must improve. We take a look at our top selections for the $400,000 Remington Springboard Mile, your Sunday race of the day. You love the candy rides? You're getting a nice Calumet homebred in sharp form. You're going with Jungle Runner, 15-1 on the morning line.
Yeah, I realize he has to improve to win this race. I just like his last 2 starts. I think he's headed the right way, and I think he has more upside.
I think Rowdy Yates is just a tough professional 2-year-old, not sure what the long-term potential is, but I think he fits a race like this right now. Like that, Asmussen has given him 2 races over the track, 1 at a mile, and he's able to sit just off the pace with a good inside post position. Mike's going 5.413. I'm going 3.410.1. It's the $400,000 Remington Springboard Mile. Remember to get those free formulator past performances on the Race of the Day event page at DRF.com. Approximate post time 8:19 Central. Best of luck.